Hey guys, it's Mr. Dollar, also known as Peace Daddy. Today's lesson is going to be on the memorization of multiplication, and we're going to be talking about table number 3 today, which is also known as the finger table. The purpose of the lesson is to teach the child multiplication facts that you would have memorized. And you're going to need some flashcards, or in Montessori, those are called the cut combinations. And those are just wooden combinations of numbers that look like flashcards. They're usually arranged that way, and it would say 8 times 2, and you would just pick them up out of a basket. But you can do the same thing with flashcards, and I'm going to move the camera so we can see the rug. So in a Montessori classroom, this chart would be wooden, and across the top of the chart it would be blue in this shaded area, and across down the left side this vertical line would be red. And this is known as table number 3. It's called the finger table. So 2 through 10 are arranged on the top and the bottom. The left side is these are the multiplicands, and the top row here, which is blue if you have the wooden version, are the multipliers. So first, the child should select a cut combination. So for example, we could say, okay, today we're going to work with 8 times 2, or 8 groups of 2. And you need to write that down in your copybook. And then you're going to put your left index finger on the 8 in the red column. So remember, this would be the red column. So you put your finger on the 8. This is the multiplicand, and that's the number that's on the top. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your other finger and you're going to put it on the 2. So one finger on the 8, another finger on the 2, and then you glide your fingers horizontally and vertically until they meet. The square where they meet is called the product. And then you write down the answer. So I'm going to move my finger that's on the 8 this way horizontally, and I'm going to move my finger that's on the 2 this way, which is vertically, and where they meet, where those 2 cross over, that's the answer. 8 times 2, or 8 taken 2 times, is 16. You should also note that when the squares are made as you glide your finger, these combinations have the same multiplicand and multiplier. So for instance, if I'm going to make a square with my 5s, a 5 and a 5, that makes a perfect square. Right there is a square, and 5 times 5 is 25. So whenever there's a perfect square made, there's a square, the multiplier and the multiplicand are the same. Of course, the smallest square would be the first one right here, and that's 2 groups of 2. You should also note that it's possible to remove certain combinations from the third table, just like it's possible to eliminate some combinations from the first table. The side of the diagonal, there's some numbers that are the same, okay? So you could cover up those numbers, and that would help you to prove the commutative property. So for instance, there's a 14 here, and there's a 14 here. and you could cover those numbers up like we did in the lesson on table number 1 to show the commutative property. So let's try another one. This one is 6 times 4. I'm just going to take it randomly over here from my stack of flashcards that I have. So the number on the top is the multiplicand. So I'm going to put my finger on that number first, the number 6. And then the multiplier is 4. Put my finger on the 4. I'm going to move this finger back and forth this way, this finger back and forth this way, and where they meet, the answer is 24. So you would first write this problem down in your copybook, then you would do the work, and then you could find the answer that way. Another thing that you can do, and I can make this available on my Google Classroom, both this sheet and a blank version of the sheet, is to print this out. You can laminate it if you want to. If you laminate it, you can write on it and then erase what's on it with a paper towel and use this over and over again. Or you could make multiple copies of this and do the work this way. So 6 times 4, those two would meet right there. If I know the answer is 24, I can place 24 there, and then I can use this chart as my control, and I can double check to make sure that I wrote the answer correctly. Of course, this chart would not be directly underneath this chart as I have it. It would be off to the side somewhere where you wouldn't be able to see it, but you could go and check your answers later. So if you're in my class, the blank chart and the filled chart are both on Google Classroom. You can find that in the documents section and print those off. Again, thank you for watching. My name is Mr. Dollar, also known as Peace Daddy. Have a great day. See you next time.